Hello everyone, today is August 18th, day 317th of the war between Israel and Hamas, and these are the articles for today. מאחורי המשא ומתן בדוחה, behind the negotiations in Doha, ההדלפות והמציאות, the leaking and the reality. That'll be our first article, and then the second one is כבר 317 ימים שאתה רחוק ממני פיזית. It's already 317 days that you are far away from me physically, but my heart is closer than ever. About the romantic partners of the men that are hostage in Gaza. Let's start with the first one. Here it says, מה באמת קורה במשא ומתן? What's actually happening in the negotiations? In Doha, two key figures are missing, them being Sinwar, of course, because he's a wanted terrorist, and Netanyahu. For that reason, it's not surprising that they cannot come to an agreement about key issues such as the Rafiah crossing border and Tzir Netzarim, the Netzarim corridor. Those places are really strategic places for Hamas to be able to attack Israel, to receive weapons, and of course they want to have continuous control over that in Israel because they have gone into those places and cleaned them out and taken control over them. They don't want to give them back so easily so that terror can make their camp there again. So that is one of the reasons why they're postponing those issues so that it doesn't reach a boil over point. One Israeli there says that there's a defrauding of the Israeli citizens, the public, and the families of the hostages. He says there's a bigger chance of achieving world peace than there is getting to this agreement. And here you can see Sinwar and Netanyahu being the key figures, not there. And of course, America is involved to try and push this hostage deal. Here you can see the families that are unrelentingly fighting again and again and again every single day and protesting for their loved ones. It never gets any easier seeing this as an Israeli because, you know, I get to go on in my daily life. I don't have a loved one in Gaza, but I know that if I did, I would absolutely fight for them with as much fervor as they do. And so they really want to see them come to an agreement and get to a hostage deal. And here we have a caricature of Khamenei, the Iranian supreme leader, and he says, "Az husga or lo husga pritzat derech besugiyat misdoron Netzarim." Has there or has there not been a breakthrough on the issue of the Netzarim corridor? He has one hand on the phone waiting for a reply, the other hand hovering over a red button. Iran said that they would wait basically to attack. According to the results of the negotiation happening, Israelis are still waiting for the results, just as everyone else is, but they have vowed to take revenge over Israel, but they seem to be waiting for an opportune time, which to them would be according to the results, if they seem pleasing to them or not. It's really important to remember that the Iranian people do not want this war. I've been speaking to some Iranian people and they keep telling me, please separate between the Islamic regime and the people because it is not the same. We are not the same thing. We do not want this war. So please remember to pray for the Iranian people. Stand with them. We stand with them in prayer as well. And if you're from Iran and watching this, know that we stand with you and we want peace. And now let's go to the article about the Israeli Valentine's Day. It says here, Tu B'Av Biladav, Valentine's Day without him. And it's an article about the romantic partners of the male hostages that are still in Gaza, and they're writing love letters to them. One of them here says, Michal misses the flowers that she would get from Alex every year, remembering that at their wedding, they vowed to always be there for each other. Stav says, I know that Idan can feel my love from afar, and she promises to be a strong pillar for him until he gets home. And Ilana, that herself was in hostage and was released in a hostage deal, says that she gets up every single day with him in mind, alongside her recovery, still fighting for him and for the rest of the hostages. And here you can see Ilana, that was taken hostage with her partner Matan. She was released in the hostage deal. I can't even imagine how that feels like to know that you experience everything on your own flesh in Gaza, knowing how horrible it is and knowing that your partner is still there for months and months and months after you. Here you can see Stav Levy is writing a beautiful love letter to Idan, waiting for him to come back. Some of these partners, they have children as well. So imagine it's not just them having to deal with their own missing them, fighting for them, but trying to navigate how it is to be a single parent. What do you even tell your children? Where is Abba? It's one of those things that no one really knows how to answer, and they're just doing the best that they can until they get good results, hopefully good news soon. As you can see, the hostage families are trying to create awareness for their loved ones. So here you have an article about Yom HaMaasim HaTovim Shel Romi, Romi's Day of Good Deeds. Romi was kidnapped, was taken hostage, and still is hostage from the Nova Festival at Re'im. And her parents are trying to create awareness by having people calling them out to have a day of good deeds. Here you can see in this picture, Romi's friends drinking her favorite cocktail in awareness for her 24th birthday, raising a glass. And it says here, Romi tamid ohevet la'asot tov la'anashim sviva. Romi always loves to do good to the people around her. And this day of good deeds, they're doing it in the style of Romi's kindness, like calling your grandparents, smiling to people on the street, helping whoever needs help. And they're asking that everyone will do something small to shine Romi's light and bring awareness to her situation. It's a really stark reality when the hostages have been there for so long that they're even starting to celebrate their birthdays. So if you're watching this, and we're really praying that Romi is still alive, pray that God gives her hope today and hope to the families that they won't have to have another birthday while she's still there. And now we'll end on a positive note with the Israeli Valentine's Day. It says here, Tzva Ha'ava, an army of love. And it's different stories of different couples that are either in the army or reserves. One of the stories is of Tal v'Shaked that came from their studies, their medical studies in Italy, and went straight into reserves, and they decided to stay in Israel. Here you can see Tal and Shaked as a normal couple, and then you can see them in their reservist uniforms. And then you have another one that says Eldad was severely injured in the month before he was supposed to get married with Illinois, but soon they will stand under the chuppah. You have to understand that a lot of people, what it does to couples, the war, is that they see so much death, they see so much destruction. For example, my sister and her now fiance, they lost so many friends and went to so many funerals that they understood that there's no better time to fulfill their love than now, because the time is short. And so many people, they decide to not postpone anything. And even though they come to the chuppah sometimes on a wheelchair, injured, still in the recovery process, they still decide to go forward with it because they know that their love should not wait for anything, especially in times of war. So that's a beautiful story to end our time with the Israeli Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to pray for Israel, the results of the negotiations at the summit and the Israeli hostages. If you want more Israel content, go to allisrael.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We'll see you guys in the next one.